What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling back at it again with a brand new stream, a brand new review. Back at it again with Dylan from the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. How are you doing, sir?
What's going on, man? We are 2 days away from WrestleMania. I am so excited. It's almost tangible now. Literally, we just got to get through Friday, and then that's it. And Supercard, which is tomorrow night, which ought to be a fucking lit ass card. I know we weren't going to talk about it, but the matches are insane. I'm so excited for Jay Briscoe, finally getting that opportunity against the Samoa Joe for the TV belt for
Well, for
ROH.
one, it's Mark Briscoe,
Mark
but
Briscoe. Yeah, I know. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, sorry. It's been a long week.
it's
So,
all
yeah.
good. It's all good. But no, I mean, Supercard of Honor. I'm not the biggest Ring of Honor guy, but I've looked at that fucking card, especially when they advertised it during one of the matches last night. Holy shit, that card. Claudio versus Eddie. You got that
Yeah.
big reach for the sky ladder match.
Yeah.
Lucha Brothers
Yeah.
is in that top
Yeah,
flight.
man. I'm so
Oh, you
excited.
got all these
I'm so
great fucking
excited.
teams. I forgot
I'm
who else
so
is in it. Is
excited.
Aussie Open, I think? Aussie Open?
Aussie Open is in it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, the card's stacked. That ROH Supercard pay per view is going to be fire. So if you guys aren't watching SmackDown or Rampage tomorrow night, I totally understand because Supercard is definitely worthy of a watch than I think Friday Night SmackDown coming up for sure. But
Yeah,
Rampage
I'll
though
bet
looks
you it'll
pretty
be
stacked.
I'll bet you it's SmackDown's just gonna be promo packages anyway. But Rampage, yes.
Rampage is
Uh
stacked.
oh yeah.
It
Uh,
is four actually really interesting ass matches that I'm genuinely excited for, especially Andretti versus Garcia. That I think
mm.
is going to be really good, especially for Andretti. I hope he gets the win on that. But enough of that. Let's get to Dynamite, buddy.
Yeah, let's get to Dynamite. This is our first AEW Dynamite review on the
Mm,
channel in
dope.
history. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
it's absolutely sick. Like this is the first Dynamite I think I've watched in its entirety in like fucking 2-3 months. So it's like
It was good. It was a good show. It was
it
a good
was a
show.
good one
Welcome
to
back.
return to. It was a
Yes,
good one
sir.
to
Welcome
return
back.
to. That was what
Yes,
I said. Like,
sir.
I think I said in the group chat, I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Dynamite's actually pretty good." The one time I decide to, hey, I'm gonna watch it now.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it was sick. Pretty entertaining throughout. A decent
hmm
fucking card. Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty stacked. Like, I'm just actually pulling up my notes from last night
Yeah,
as you continue,
I'm
because
pulling
I
up the
wrote a
notes
lot of
there.
stuff,
Oh,
and
I didn't
also
write anything.
AEW. Oh,
I
I
didn't write
wrote I
anything.
wrote a shit ton of whatnot. So,
I'm on the
I
AEW website.
okay, that's fine. I even like it's funny because like when I started doing all of this like social media and stuff, like
Yeah.
even before I started doing it, I started taking notes and I would just like I list like the match type and then the people and then like anything that happened like in between and like a little personal like thought about it. So of course I'm not gonna go too long. I know we got another podcast to be doing later. So
Shout out High Side of the Ropes.
yeah, shout out High Side. I can't wait to see it tonight, buddy. But
Oh
no,
yeah.
it definitely was a stacked match. Really great promos.
Mhm.
And we got another international championship match with Orange Cassidy, so I guess that's always good and plenty.
I think I
But
saw something. I think I saw something on Twitter saying that Orange Cassidy now has the most male championship defenses in AEW history
that's
with
insane.
his international championship. Well, fuck, he defends it every week. Rampage,
That's
Dynamite,
true. That's
fucking
true.
Dark. I think
That's a
sometimes like he's
champion.
just fucking crazy. That is
That's
a
a
champion
champion.
that you want, and to think Orange Cassidy was just someone who people were like, eh. Now he's
Yeah.
fucking. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's
Now he's
later
doing
on
now
down
he's
the
doing his
card.
thing.
That's later on down the card. We kicked off with Matt Hardy versus
And
Jungle
Jungle
Boy
Boy.
Jack Perry. Fucking great.
Ah, I want you to go first, man. I'm just so excited. So yeah, go ahead.
Well, the one thing that I remember in this match, and I think I talked about it on Twitter too, was I think it was later on in the match where someone came out. I think it was Hook. Yeah,
Yes.
it was Hook. And but before that, Ethan Page and Matt Hardy was holding Jungle Boy, and Ethan Page was gonna punch Jungle Boy, and he hit Matt Hardy. Is like, well, the match is still going on, fucking ref. What are you doing? Where's the DQ? Fucking
Yeah,
Audrey Edwards, man. God damn it.
yeah, man. She's a great referee, but yeah, sometimes I don't know. It's crazy calls with those. But you know, I love Jungle Boy. I love seeing him in action. I mean, who doesn't?
Over as fuck. My
Over as
God.
fuck. I mean, so over it, but it's very exciting. Um, you know, all in all, I thought the match was really good. I would give it a 3 out of 5. If I
3 out
had
of
to
5?
rate, I would have to rate the match a 3 out of 5. And you know, I love Matt Hardy. You know, I grew up with the Hardy Boys and everything, and it was very exciting to see them all. It's very exciting to see Matt in the ring, even to this day. He still tries his best to seem like he has it still there, like he never lost it. But clearly, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but he looked a little stiff out there, you
Oh,
know.
no, I noticed it. He was a little slow for my liking
Yeah,
when he
you know,
was
but I get it.
moving.
I get it, and you know, it comes with age. It comes with territory. It comes with long-lasting longevity in multiple different arenas, multiple different nights, multiple different companies, more or less. So I
Mhm.
totally understand. It's not to his fault. It's that body's beat up. That
Oh,
body's
fuck.
beat up.
He's
Yeah,
been in so many extreme matches, like,
yeah,
over well, I think about 30 years now. It's gotta be right around there.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't blame Matt Hardy.
No, I don't.
Um, Hook coming out, as much I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. I thought it was a little left field, to be
Yeah.
honest. You know, I would have more or less wanted, you know, I guess I'm going to be that type of person and say I'd rather have seen Darby come out, or I'd rather see Sammy continue with showing us the 4 pillars that we've been recently seeing with
Yeah, Darby
MJF
and
and
Sammy were
everything.
doing jack shit.
Yeah, yeah. So we saw them after the match when the match was over in the back. You know, Darby was kind of like analyzing, like he knows what's going on, and you know, Sammy and his girlfriend are just hanging out or whatnot. So like, you know, they were. It was nice to see them and everything. But yeah, I thought Hook's appearance wasn't really necessary. I mean, I feel like more or less maybe Tony's kind of maybe pushing Hook to that main spot or going in from, you know, bottom card to mid card at this point, you know, with the FTW belt and his little title feuds that he's had here and there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, I'm going to see how that plays out throughout the weeks and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt a little left field. But of course, the boy, homegrown himself, Long Island's own baby, had to come out and steal the show with that crazy ass promo. But yeah, man, I Jungle Boy could talk. He could talk some wild shit, and
Oh, yeah,
I
Jungle
definitely would love
Boy.
to be in the ring with him with that.
Oh, yeah, Jungle Boy absolutely killed it. I didn't think,
Yeah,
he would be able to talk like that, and I like that
yeah,
Jungle Boy got that little spotlight,
hmm
this week, even though I would rather have seen Darby and Sammy come out as well.
yeah,
MJF's promo was great, where it's like,
hmm
"Yeah, you and I could have been friends after our match, at Full Gear 2020, but instead you've resulted in hanging out with fucking losers, and Hook's no different." And, now you're just a joke and something like that. It was
yeah,
fucking great. And he even talked about Anna Jay.
yeah.
That was
Oh
fucking great.
man, dude, when he said Anna Jay, I was like, oh, he's getting his ass beat on this one, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where's the cake? Where's the remaining of that cake from last week, man? We need more cake getting thrown at that boy. But nah, man, you know, I love seeing MJF. I honestly, I think what Tony's doing here with the 4 pillars is honestly genius. I think that, you know, he's been hearing all of us fans talking about where's our homegrown talent? Why aren't they
Yeah,
getting the push? Why aren't they getting the TV time that they deserve? Why is it always going to be WWE people? Everybody, WWE has to win a belt, has to be a title, has to be a main show, etc., etc. And I think he's finally hearing us out, which is good because now we're starting to get the homegrown talent more or less finally coming to the forefront, the real pillars to that have been making AEW an all out, I know I'm using a lot of puns here right now, but an all out brawl for many of us fans that do watch, you know, every single week. You know, even with, you know, Hangman and that 4 pillar situation and everything, which we'll get to later on in the show, I believe. So,
yeah,
no, I think all in all, the whole entire segment was a 4 out of 5. The match, 3 out of 5. You know, again,
yeah.
I'm taking points off because of Matt Hardy's stiffness. It's not his fault, But again, it's just if I was going to be putting Jungle Boy now, like I feel like he's gonna do with Darby, and I feel like he's gonna do with Sammy going forward into Double or Nothing in May. I think my match choices of opponents would be different. I feel like they should be someone more in that class that Jungle Boy is in, whether it's a middleweight or a light heavyweight, whatever you want to categorize him in the division belt. I don't want to see him face. I don't want to face a senior citizen. You know what I mean? Like I really don't. I really don't. I rather see him face somebody that can show off his ability. I
Oh
get it.
yeah,
Matt's one of those guys like Jericho that is someone that'll continue to push him over to the next level. And we need a lot of more veterans to do more of that for these homegrown talents to give them that, okay, you're definitely on your way up to that rise, to that platform. But at the same time, it also feels like I'd rather see Jungle Boy's performance because with him being so over with everybody, like you said, I rather see him fight more of him to really prove that he belongs in this four pillar matchup with Sammy and Darby.
yeah,
And I think that's something that Tony should take note of for the next couple of weeks going forward into Double or Nothing. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. So, all in all, I give it a 4 out of 5 for the segment for sure. Great promo. Hook wasn't really needed. Man, unfortunately, was a little stiff out there, but
Hook was there and then disappears. I
exactly.
don't fucking get
So
it.
yeah.
But
But all in all, it was good. It was good. Great way to start off the show.
oh yeah, it was a great way to start off the show. And here's how I would book this feud before we get
Hmm.
on to the rest of the night. Um, oh yeah, AEW was good, Sean, definitely.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but what I would say is this week was Jungle
Yes.
Boy's time to shine. Next week, give it to Sammy.
Yep.
The week after that, give that to Darby. And
Yep.
then for most of April and May, have them like kind of fuck with each other or do like a tag team thing, like have MJF and Sammy versus Darby and Jungle Boy or something like that. Have
Absolutely.
MJF wrestle more, like for fuck's sake. He said that in his promo too. I never wrestle. I I I
Have the
uh,
easiest job in the world.
I have the
Yep.
easiest job in the world. I go out there and I can demolish every single one of you, and then I fucking collect a fat check and I leave. So it's like
I go back to the greatest place on earth, Long Island, New York, baby.
next week.
Oh, I
Next
can't wait
week
to go to it
at
next
Dynamite.
Wednesday, man. I'm so excited. I'm so
Oh, yeah,
excited.
you're gonna
MJF
be
Day.
there.
Yep, it's MJF Day when he comes to Long Island.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I'm literally shaking. I'm so excited.
AEW Dynamite next week's fucking stacked too. You're gonna see fucking Jamie
Stacked.
Hayter versus Riho. You're gonna
Yep.
s you're gonna see all the Blackpool Combat Club in full force,
Yep.
explain
And
their
we're
fucking
seeing
matches.
Juice Robertson and Ricky Starks,
That's right.
and we're seeing FTR and the Guns.
Oh, I'm so fucking looking
Yeah,
forward
yeah,
to
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
fucking
It's
looking
gonna be
forward to that because
good.
it's like,
Oh man,
are they leaving or are they fucking not? I don't get it, and I'm
I
so
don't
looking
know.
forward to that because maybe they re-signed and they're just trolling, or maybe they're actually leaving. I don't fucking know, but I'm just so looking forward to that. Next up, uh, trios match: Dalton Castle and the boys versus Blackpool Combat Club. Dalton Castle and the boys got their ass beat by the
Booty
Blackpool
cheeks
Combat Club.
clapped. Yeah, those
Big meaty
fancy
men
booty cheeks.
destroying meat.
Oh yeah, those fancy booty cheeks were clapped very quickly and on his arrival down the ring. And the only thing I wish Dalton came out was the peacock fit. Honestly, I wish that was his everyday attire when he comes out. I saw him like last year sometime when he came to I think Forbidden Door, or maybe it was a pay-per-view before that or just a live show. And I saw the peacock outfit and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is just absolutely outlandish. And then I watch a little bit of his ROH stuff and whatnot. I saw some clips on YouTube and whatnot of him. And I'm like, wow, I like him. I like the getup. I like the gear. I like the gimmick. It's just really funny. It's very playful. And even in the ring, he's very playful. He's not like a serious competitor. He
Yeah.
doesn't, he takes the business, of course, seriously, but generally speaking, he's just fun. He kind of almost reminds me of the Hurricane. if you want to compare him to someone with outlandish gimmicks and costumes and stuff like that, like for sure. I definitely love to see Dalton in action, especially that whole entrance walk with the guys in the back with the masks on and the little things that I don't know
Drums,
what the hell.
bongos.
Yeah, some crazy fucking get up. But they got their booty cheeks clapped very quickly. The boys
They
got
yeah, they move their asses to the back, Claudio, Mox, and Yuta. Of course, we
yep,
have this will they, won't they thing with Adam Page. Don Callis goes over to apologize to Hangman Page. They get their booty cheeks clapped by the BCC. And
yep,
this is right before Kenny Omega comes out to defend the IWGP US Championship. So the interviewer goes over and is like, "Hey, did you know that Hangman and Don Callis got their asses kicked before your match?" And it's like,
yep.
Kenny's like, "Wait, what?" Fucking-
Taz was great. I don't know if you caught on to this, and if you can, definitely rewatch it. But Taz goes, "That's not something Shivani should have told Kenny at right before his match against Jeff Cobb. I don't think that was a
yeah.
good idea for
It's like
Tony." And
he's
I'm
got
like,
all this
"Yeah, I don't
shit
think so
going.
either."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that. It's like, yeah, you're right. The Young Bucks got their fucking asses kicked. Now Hangman and Dawn got their asses kicked. It's like, well, fuck, am I gonna get my ass kicked next?
But that Jeff
Spoiler
Cobb
alert for
match,
later on.
yeah, right. But nah, Jeff Cobb. I guess that's what we're up to now, right? The Jeff
Yes.
Cobb match.
Yes.
Fire match. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
5 out of 5.
Uh,
That needs to happen one more time. That Kenny Omega Jeff Cobb match needs to happen one more time for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Belt. It has to. It really was a very good match. Jeff Cobb is literally a brawling brute ballerina in the ring, especially when he hit that V trigger on Kenny Omega, kind of giving it right back to him on the back of the skull, and then was trying to set up for the one winged angel, which was crazy. And then of
yeah,
course
I
Kenny was
saw
trying
that.
to
I was
lift
like,
him up
what
the
the
whole
fuck?
night. Yeah, it was so insane. It was just crazy to see that. And then the week prior to that was the
Vikingo,
Vikingo or something like that, right?
fucking
Um,
fire.
yeah, so I mean, these are two back-to-back matches that were just insane from Kenny's single run right now, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying Kenny's single run. I love them with the elite and everything like that. I never really seen them prior to that as a single competitor. I watched some clips from him and Ospreay's match to start off the new year, which
Oh, yeah.
was an amazing match from what I've been told, and it definitely looked that way for sure. But yeah, Jeff Cobb, I didn't know much about. I think I've heard of him prior to seeing his
I've
debut.
never seen him before tonight. Never seen any of
Yeah,
his
I've
matches.
I've never I've never yeah I've never seen him per se. I heard about him, but I've never seen him, and he kind of reminds me a little bit of Bronson Reed, a little bit,
Yes, that was who I
and
was thinking.
yeah, and I was like, "Okay, this is weird, but I kinda like it because at least Cobb got, like, a not a standing ovation, but he got something. I mean, it wasn't silent when he came out like Reed, like, people were cheering for him, trying to grab at him, like, was
Yeah,
actually,
all
like,
those New
involved.
Japan fans are AEW fans, like, they know who this
Yeah,
dude is, and
yeah,
I don't blame them. I think Jeff
yeah.
Cobb is also in ROH too?
ROH as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were doing the highlights of him, I saw him in the New Japan thing, fighting against Kenny and whatnot, like a 6-man tag or something. And then I think they also showed a highlight of him in the ROH, something he was doing in ROH as well. But
Yeah.
no, man, again, this was definitely probably my favorite match of the night, besides the promo
Yeah,
and
no,
Jungle
I
Boy.
wouldn't know what would be my favorite match of the night. This would definitely be a close contender if anything else.
Yeah,
But I like Kenny's singles run, as you said. It really shows the um the amount of skill that Kenny Omega has on his own. Like with his whole run with the elite that we've had beforehand, it's like, why is Kenny doing this with the Bucks when the Bucks can just go off on their own and Omega can go off on his own? Like Omega should get another opportunity at the AEW World Belt, in my fucking opinion.
yes,
He really
yes,
needs it, and I think if Kenny Omega, after this feud with Blackpool Combat Club, is able to continue to show this skill, I would
yeah,
definitely if it were me, I would definitely book him to be a two-time AEW World Champion. I think it's way
Why
overdue.
not?
I think it I
Right?
think it'd be pretty great. But anyways, after
Yeah.
that, of course, the
Yeah.
BCC
What the
comes
fuck?
out there and they fucking kick Kenny's ass. Combat Club is looking like the Shield. Oh, I could even go so far as to say they're even more brutal than the Shield at this point.
Yeah,
Hot
they've
take.
literally beaten up everybody at this point.
They're
Yeah,
kicking
man.
everybody's ass, especially last night. Blackpool Combat Club was fucking an unstoppable force. So they beat up
Yeah,
Kenny
they
Omega,
beat up Don Callis, Don Callis, the
Hangman
Bucks,
Page.
Hangman. They were gonna probably beat up Taz after the show. They beat the hell out of poor Kenny. They beat the hell out of the Elite. Yeah, man. They're just wild. They're just wild out
Yeah,
there.
for
And it's
sure.
great. I love it.
But afterwards, of course, you got Bryan Danielson coming back after a supposed retirement speech. And
Yeah,
he goes out there, and at first he looks like he's gonna maybe transition to a baby face, like help with Kenny.
that's what I
And
say to Bryan Danielson.
yeah, Bryan Danielson, we're getting heel Bryan
We're getting
running
him. And
the
you know what though?
oh
I think this is a perfect return. And
yeah,
I don't think they're going to fuck it up either. I think with the way that the Blackpool Combat Club is going right now is perfect way to be that faction that people have to fear.
yes,
Kind of like an evolution mixed with the Shield, but a little bit more brutal. They're willing to go above and beyond. They're doing a lot better in the violence category than the Outcasts. Let's just be very frank here, people.
they're
Like
doing
I
a
like
lot
the
better than
Outcasts.
the Outcasts. Like,
Yeah, like listen, I like the Outcasts. Don't get me wrong; it's great. It's all the WWE women together. Yeah, yay, rah rah. But at the same time, it's like no. This is Claudio. This is Wheeler. This is Bryan. This is
Mox.
Moxley. These people are just uh wild. Moxley's willing to literally cut his face open and take it out and play with it. Like he's just crazy. Claudio's that strategic in the ring and knows what's going on. Wheeler's kind of that like little crazy Tasmanian devil and everything. And Bryan's very this like almost like a master splinter, type of thing, but with a lot more knowledge and more in ring ability and stuff and technicality. So it's very great to see these four men all align and stuff. I wish honestly would be a little cherry on top is William Regal back in that mentor spot.
Oh, I
Honestly,
wish.
I wish that Regal was here for this moment because this moment here with Regal and all of them would shine and be one of the best faces to promote this company going forward. 100%.
Yes.
Um,
Blackpool Combat Club is absolutely amazing, and like you said, William Regal, imagine if this was the Blackpool Combat Club we got from the very fucking beginning with Regal, the way that the Blackpool Combat Club is now, it's fucking sick, and honestly, I loved AEW Dynamite tonight mainly for the Blackpool Combat Club and the way they
they were
looked
fire.
like an unstoppable force, and
Yeah.
if I were to book Double or Nothing, let's say I'd have all 4 members of Blackpool Combat Club versus Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, because Matt is injured,
Ugh.
um, Hangman Page, and maybe you can get one more guy. I don't know exactly
Yeah,
who
I
it
don't know
would
who
be.
would be. Yeah, I also thought that was very funny. That away show, when Hangman called him the BBC, that was great. I thought that was great too. That I missed it the first time. I had to rewind it. I was like, did he just say what I think he just said?
He
And
just
then I
said
rewind.
BBC.
Yeah, I rewound it, and I was like, he really just fucking said what I thought
I
he
thought it
just
was
said.
a
That
botch
just
afterwards. I was like, "Buddy,"
yeah.
but,
Oh man, it was good. This definitely was another one of those show stealing moments of Dynamite, which someone like you who hasn't watched for a while,
oh, yeah.
now being tuned back in is now kind of. I don't want to say I don't want to assume anything for you, but if I were you, I would be excited to watch next week and see
Oh,
where
yeah.
this is all going to be going. Because, like I said prior, with how we got Revolution and then the outcome of Revolution, it was such an important statement for Tony to make Revolution as good as it was. Because going forward, if he's going to have quote unquote MJ's last reign in AEW, this is something that MJF can kind of maneuver through going forward. I know we talked about him prior, but with that whole four pillar situation, which is kind of what's happening here with these guys, is that we can have these perfect moments for MJF and let's say Jungle Boy Double or Nothing, a Darby at the Full Gear moment, and Sammy at the big pay per view in the middle, as well as with Blackpool and the Elite without Matt at the moment, but Matt hopefully following suit later on, kind of having these matches going forward into these next big pay per views to continuously be those show stealing moments that we're seeing on the show now, which is great.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, Blackpool Combat Club is definitely looking like an unstoppable force, and I cannot fucking
Yes.
wait.
Yeah.
Then we got a bit of a promo package for I think the Guns and FTR.
Yes. Yes.
Nice backstage segment, and
Yes.
yeah, you never meet your heroes. We respected you, and now we fucking hate you. And
Whatever. Give me a
it's fine.
goddamn break.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Give me.
Well, it'll be a good match next week, but I didn't care about their build.
Yeah.
Um, then we moved on to the International Championship. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus the Butcher. I didn't care too much for this, but it was decent for what it
Yeah.
was.
I agree with you on that. I listen. I'm a fan of Orange Cassidy. I don't know if you can agree with me here on this, but
Okay.
I like Orange Cassidy. I think he's great. I love the gimmick. I love the whole barely does the thumb up from wherever, weighing whatever, freshly squeezed gimmick. I think it's great, but I think it's becoming stale. I don't
His
know if it's
reign?
just his reign. I don't know if it's just me because maybe we don't have enough people to maybe fill that spot. But at the moment, it feels like each and every week we're not. I mean, some of the matches are very good, but I think that some of the matches are very meh. Kind of like
I get
last
it.
night with the Butcher. Like the Butcher's one of those guys that is very dominant, he's a very physical type of person. And Orange Cassidy's a lot more high flyer in the ring, kind of can maneuver and very fast paced. So with someone that's not so that way and that way, it makes an interesting match for sure, but sometimes it doesn't really give a even keel type of match. I mean, of course, not everybody wants an even keel type of match. Not everyone wants everybody to be the same. And, I totally understand that. But, with title reigns, at least for this championship that they're trying to make it such a big thing by now changing the name from, the
All
whatever,
Atlantic, I think it
yeah, the
was.
All
Yeah.
Atlantic now to the international champion. It's like, okay, but now let's have those international then moments. If I was Tony, I would kind of start bringing in people from other countries that is in ROH or New Japan and start having those international matches. I think then you're now making this title more appealing to a regular AEW fan who's seeing Orange Cassidy. Because it
Yeah.
feels like, I don't want to say it, but it kind of feels like how we feel about Jade Cargill. She's ran through the women's division. She's still TBS champion. No one's beat her. She's beaten everybody at least 2 to 3 times over. There's nobody really left that they're giving an opportunity to,
Yep.
and they're not really doing much for the belt. And if that's the case, then that's okay for now, and hopefully that changes. But if we're going to change the name of this belt and from All Atlantic to International, let's start having some international matches. Takeshna would be a really good first match.
Oh yeah.
Vikingo would be a really interesting match card. Give me someone from the Lucha Bros. Give me
Jeff
someone
Cobb.
from Jeff Cobb. Give me somebody different that isn't from America per se or of a nationality that this belt could represent. Because then you can have this belt travel the world and be able to now be premiered on New Japan and ROH
Bring
and
more
maybe,
eyes to AEW.
yeah, exactly. These littler belts that Tony has could be something of a marketing tool for him to be able to have more eyes on AEW as a whole product. And if
Oh
that's
yeah.
the case, then that's something I would do. Let Orange Cassidy go to New Japan and lose to somebody that we know we could get over in AEW. Let him go to Ring of Honor and maybe defend it against someone brand new to the company that has a really good shot in a title opportunity for that person. Give it to somebody that's not maybe AEW and keeping it in house. Let it go outside of the house. It is an international belt, and that's the name of it. So, like, let's try to more market it that way
And
than having it just
it's not like something Tony Khan can't do. We had the fucking New
right,
Japan belt defended last night. But
right.
you wanted to know my opinion on that as well, on Orange
Yes,
Cassidy's reign. Here's my thing. Maybe I'm more of the classic, but what about the storylines? Why the
what story
fuck
are we
do
gonna
I
get?
care about this belt if it's just next week on Dynamite we got Orange Cassidy defending the international? Don't get me wrong, Orange Cassidy now officially has the most title defenses of any male AEW champion ever.
That's great.
But I mean, why would I want to watch a show even though like next week's show is stacked? I don't give a fuck. Why would I want to watch any show that has Orange Cassidy versus QT Marshall, Sonny Kiss,
Right,
Kip
right,
Sapien? Like, why the
right,
fuck would I care about that? But
right.
I love your take on that, where it's like it's international. Bring it to places like Ring of Honor, like New Japan Pro Wrestling, to like little indie promotions even.
Bring it to DCW.
Yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
someone from GCW that
GCW,
just came from IWA,
that would
and
be
now
so
it's someone
fucking
from
sick.
fucking Ireland.
NWA even. NWA,
Yeah,
Triple A. Bring
bring
it to
someone
all those
Irish
fucking
over.
places.
Bring someone Irish over. Someone from Germany, Switzerland, Denmark. Give me something, and let them. I don't even care if the fucking reign is 2 weeks. I don't even care. But it brings new flavor. You know what I mean? And you're pretty much hitting the point.
You
You
wanna
know
know something else? It brings
what?
eyes to whatever small indie show that it's bringing. "Oh, shit, Orange Cassidy's gonna be on this show? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch it."
Right.
Like,
Tony
come
Khan, if you listen to this goddamn show, give us our paychecks, please. We will make you so much goddamn money, buddy. It is ridiculous. Hand over fist.
You don't even
Literally.
need a documentary show. You
No,
need fucking,
yeah, we
like,
could
god
scrap
damn it.
that idea.
All
That
access.
stupid ass show. I wanted to talk about that quickly at the end, but
Yeah, talk about it at the end. Let's get
yeah,
through this.
yeah, let's get through this beautiful card here.
So anyways, Orange Pin Butcher, fun championship match. Good you have a title defense on the show.
Right.
Then we got the Outcast, Ruby, 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 Soho. Doesn't use that song anymore though.
Yep.
Versus Willow Nightingale. Um, mm,
Interesting.
mm, I don't
That's
know.
it. Interesting. That's all I'm going to give it. You know what? I'm going to let you go first before I kind of meddle on and ramble. So,
Okay. Well, again, I don't really think I really watched this match all the way through. I think I was out doing fucking something else. But from obviously Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho gets the win.
mhm.
And then afterwards we had like the Outcasts beating the shit out of Willow. Then you got Riho and Sky Blue coming out, and Outcast still beat them up. Out comes Jamie Hayter. Let me say this about Jamie Hayter: when she attempted that fucking discus lariat, she went flying. She was gonna fucking decapitate. I
Yeah, we
forgot
need you
who he
next
was trying
Wednesday,
to.
buddy. Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
need you next Wednesday. All right. I need you to see you in Long Island. My boy Sam's obsessed with you. He's going to be losing it when he sees you live again. Please. You're going to
Jamie
crush his
Hayter's
little
gonna
heart.
fucking obliterate Riho with that
Yeah.
lariat.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it was wild as well because they kept saying Riho, the girl that Jamie Hayter's gonna face next week, and it's like, oh, you're friends, cool.
Right.
Will they coexist? Reminds me a lot of Bianca versus Asuka.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
anyways, I do like that the Outcasts are trying to be booked as public enemy number one.
Right.
But am I really invested? Because, like I've said multiple times, whether it's on this podcast, whether it's on Twitter, Soraya, Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho are perfectly capable of being on their own, especially in a division that
Yes.
lacks stars.
Correct.
AEW's women's division has no real star power, in my opinion.
Correct.
So to have three of your biggest in a group doesn't make sense. And I know a lot of people could be like, well, what about the Blackpool Combat Club? That's different because you have a lot of fucking male stars on that. You have a ton. Four of them are going to be at Double or Nothing. We don't need John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudia Wall on their own.
Correct.
you know? And that's what makes them more dominant. They're all capable of being single stars. That's what made the Shield dominant. That's what made the Evolution dominant. They're all capable of being on their own, but them together makes them more dominant. However, I see more problems with the Outcasts being together than the Blackpool Combat Club. And no, it's not sexism. It's
No,
that
it's the
the
truth.
women's division lacks stars.
Correct. No, I think you hit it perfectly on the head. Honestly, I do. I think that the only thing I would maybe say or add to it is that you know what? Honestly, I don't have anything to add. Yeah, you pretty much hit it. No, you did because you know you hit every point that I was going to make, which is the fact that whether they're, I think honestly, yeah, them together hurts more than them separate. You know, if they were to split up and start pushing some of these other women like a Rio or a Willow or of Sky Blue or Red Velvet, anybody else decides to show up on Dynamite once, twice, every goddamn day, you know, and push them to that next mid card or main card type of spot, I think these women would be perfect, you know, to do that. They have a lot of experience in and out of the ring, so
Mhm.
these people would be perfect to do just that and be able to spruce up the actual women's division. Start having more exciting matches, not just on a Dynamite, but on Rampage as well, kind of like what we're seeing finally from Rampage this week. I mean, finally, we got an actual good card that I'm genuinely excited to watch for. I don't actually want to just watch it Saturday morning at 6 a.m. just to make sure I caught up on everything before I do the podcast. Like,
Yeah,
really,
for
like
sure.
that's true. That's truly it. You know, honestly though, you pretty much hit it right on the head. I the only thing I would maybe say is that it's almost trying too hard at times to be public enemy number one, which can be a bad thing besides being a good thing. I get what they're trying to do and being like, we're the bad bitches of this of AEW, and that's that. But you know, backstage they all love each other. And we kind of see that with you know, with the All Access show that we saw later on that night. And, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose of some of these big matches and feuds going forward. You know, as wrestling fans, we don't really know what happens, quote unquote, behind the scenes, behind the camera.
All
But
Access does.
with All Access, we do. And it starts to maybe hurt the actual feuds itself. I'm excited to see though Hater and Rio for sure. It's going to be a great match. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be an easy win for Hater.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, come next Wednesday. Hey, maybe Rio surprises us all. You know, I'll be
It
screaming.
becomes a two-time AEW
Yeah,
Women's
listen,
Champion.
let's do it. Let's fuck
Sometimes
around
I
and find
forget
out.
Rio was champion. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie to you. Sometimes I
yeah.
forget. But,
Sometimes I forget too. I do
yeah,
too
no,
until Taz reminds me.
fucking yeah. So, I bet it would be a good match next week, though, Rio and Jamie
Oh
Hayter.
yeah, for sure.
Especially the way Hayter, like I said, fucking looked like a beast out there.
Yeah,
Um, but,
Adam.
yeah, no, I'm very excited for next week. We'll probably go over, next week's card after we're done here, but,
Sounds
we're
good.
finally at the main event. Finally at the
Yes.
main event. Adam Cole Bay making his return
Boom.
versus Daniel Garcia. Best
Yes.
possible opponent for him for his first match.
Yes. I think this was the perfect match for Adam Cole to come back to. Yeah, I don't think there was anyone better. I agree 100%. But I want to hear you first.
So, as much as I hated the fact that this was probably done to promote AEW Access, it was great seeing Adam
Yeah.
Cole. It was great seeing Adam Cole back in AEW. Another thing that I really liked that added to the in-ring psychology was all the spots on Adam's neck being like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Uh,
I don't like that. Oh, he's gonna
yeah.
re-injure
I
him."
mentioned that in my notes. Yep. I wasn't cool with that either.
Yeah, so it's like, it just adds to that anxiety that you would get as a wrestling fan. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like that it was Daniel Garcia and it wasn't like instant main event for Adam Cole. Have him
Hmm.
get himself built up to maybe get an proper AEW title run,
Right.
maybe. But yeah, obviously Adam Cole wins. Whoa, I can't believe that. Then
Shocker.
Dr. Britt Baker comes out, gives him a little kiss. By the
Little
way,
schmooch.
check out our reality show coming up next. And then fucking Judas plays, and I'm out there like, what? The show's over. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. I'm excited
Jericho,
for this feud.
Jericho comes out, helps Garcia, and then he's just looking back, being like, "Oh, that motherfucker." One thing
Yeah.
I will say,
Hmm.
one thing I will say is I hope it's not a classic Jericho feud where Adam Cole goes through every Jericho Appreciation Society member known to man.
Be ready for it.
I hate those feuds. Happen with
I know.
MJ. Well, no, it didn't happen with MJF. The roles were reversed for that. Who the fuck did that
Yeah.
happen to? Eddie Kingston, um,
Ricky Starks,
Ricky Starks. Oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
Action Andretti.
Yes, fucking everybody. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't want a fucking another classic Jericho feud where it's the abuse of Jericho. Drink it in, man. Um, I want. This is why I wish Kyle O'Reilly wasn't injured, man. Tag
Yeah.
team matches, playa. I wanted to see that, but you know what?
Yeah.
Another thing that I did see a clip from All Access was Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole training together. That was fucking
Hmm.
sweet. I liked
That was
seeing that.
great.
I didn't see anything else from the fucking show though, so don't fucking expect
Okay.
me to know.
I took some notes down for that, but yeah, listen, I'm very happy Adam Cole's back. I just want to start off by saying that
Yep.
that type of crazy short-term concussion after concussion after concussion injury is something that many people don't survive from, or at least be able to come back and bounce back with such oomph in their step. And Adam Cole has proven that. Edge has proven that with a neck injury. A lot of these wrestlers that have come back from crazy, crazy moves have proven that their agility outweighs the pain and torment that their body, does endure by doing these high risk, high maneuver stunts. So I just want to say, definitely, I'm so happy to see Cole back. Bring back the boom, bring back Bebe. I need it. We all need it. It was great to see it. Yeah, clearly we knew he was going to win. Definitely to promote All Access. He's the first episode. I totally understand. But I don't know how I feel about him being okay with those moves either, with those neck moves to him during that match, especially that pile driver. That one scared me, I think,
That
the
one
most.
did scare me too. I was like, "Oh
I was like,
no."
there's something about that move that doesn't seem like it's gonna end right now. And he kept reaching on the back of his neck and his head after that. And the ref even was like, "Are you okay? Are you sure you're all right?" Because
Yeah.
like I don't know if I would have been after
I
everything.
could stop the match if you want, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You want to push the limit. You want to show them that you're fearless and that it's effortless and everything. But if I was him, and I honestly, I wouldn't take this. I wouldn't count this against him. I would count this with him. Is I would have gone a little easier on that match. Maybe had a little bit less head maneuver moves. Maybe a DDT. Maybe a DDT suplex type of move.
Mhm.
Nothing to a pile driver extent, nothing to the extent that he was willing to go to that last night. But he did it. He pulled it off. He looked great, and no ring rust. I have to commend him with all
Yeah.
that time off. No ring rust, and I think that shows the absolute most in someone like Adam Cole, that he could go through something like that and be on Twitch and gaming for all those times sitting home, and gaming doesn't affect you the way people say it affects you. So there you go.
Adam
He's
Cole
still
proved
working.
it.
Adam Cole proved it, baby. And I definitely think that Adam Cole is going to have a great hell of a run right now. I am curious to see what's going to happen with this whole JAS feud. Do I think that he might have to go through the trials and tribulations? Yeah, I'm already dreading it, but
Trash.
there is a possibility, and I am just putting it out there. It's my rumor that I'm making up, people, so don't start attacking other fans. But I think that there's a possibility that it could be a Ricky Starks, Axel Andretti, Adam Cole 6-man tag of some sort, or a
I
tag
wouldn't
match.
mind that on a Dynamite, but I
I
want to
wouldn't
see
mind that
Adam
on a
Cole versus
Dynamite
Chris Jericho one on
one
one.
on one.
I've
I
always
do
wanted to
too.
see them one on one.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, that's like
I think
one of the
that would
dream
be better.
matches in AEW for me.
Yeah, I think it would be a suitable fit for both men. Both coming from WWE, both coming from Ring of Honor, both coming from a great past and a great ring ability and stuff and great ring history. So definitely, main card worthy for sure. But yeah, I am expecting the JAS tribulations and trials. I
Yeah.
wonder who his next opponent will be. Maybe it's Sammy
Jake
Guevara.
Hager. Well, Sammy
Jimmy, yeah,
Guevara is just well, no, because if Sammy's gonna lose to Adam Cole, and his
yeah,
momentum's dead. Sammy Guevara is
yeah.
probably gonna drift away from JAS for this whole
That's
four
okay though.
pillars. So
That's
maybe
okay though.
one of the 2.0 guys, or one of the or Jake Hager. Maybe Jake
Yeah,
Hager's his next opponent with the fucking
hopefully.
hat.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
like
like
this
that
hat.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I do too,
So
Jake. I do too. So yeah,
so that
man. No, I
concludes Dynamite. That concludes AW Dynamite for March 29th, 2023. Solid show. As much as I used to shit on Tony Khan and fucking absolutely obliterate him, I know I might be attacked for that, but hey, that's why you tune in to both. Support all wrestling, motherfuckers. And AEW Dynamite definitely helps with that.
yeah,
At least this week. Next week's card is fucking stacked.
stacked,
Fucking crazy.
stacked.
I need
You're
to
gonna
look
see me
up.
on the floor seats, my guy. I'm gonna be there right in the action. And I heard today that Tony Khan has a huge announcement that he's making in Long Island. And I tell you
I
now, as you as my witness, as the fans as my witness, if he announces a season 2 of All Access, I am charging the stage like a madman. I'm going to be locked away in Nassau County Police for a long time because I'm going to be charging at him like a rhino. Absolute, absolute devastated if I hear that bullshit come out of his mouth. But
Yeah, I swear it's gonna be like the ratings for last night's episode was absolutely sick. So we've already been approved for season 2 of All Access.
no, you're not. I wouldn't. I know. I don't know if you wanted to talk about it quickly. I won't go too much in detail because I know you want to keep it
Well,
under an
next
hour.
week, we'll go over All Access at the very, very end. But next
Okay,
week, if I'm gonna find something, well, I'll go off ones that I know off the top of my head. We're gonna
sure.
get the Guns
Yes,
versus FTR, titles
sir.
versus careers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh, I can't wait for that one either.
We're gonna get Rio versus Jamie Hayter, AEW Women's World Championship. So 2 title matches.
Mhm.
Fuck, I forget which. We'll hear from Blackpool Combat Club with Bryan Danielson to go over their reasons why they're attacking the good old Elite.
Yep.
If I can find the other
Juice
one,
Robinson
Juice
and
Robinson and Ricky Starks. That
yeah,
JAS and Adam Cole could get involved in that one. I can
yes,
definitely
sir.
see that. Why are you fucking promoting Rampage more than Dynamite, stupid fucks? But
And the biggest
oh,
one of them all, the greatest moment of the whole entire show, the man, the salt of the earth. It is
oh
MJF
yeah,
Day
MJF
in Long
Day.
Island, and I can't wait. I'm already wearing the greatest trick the devil ever played. And I'm wearing it at the fucking show on the floor seats, man. I hope he sees it. I hope he points out to me and calls me a piece of shit and a mark. And I hope he makes fun of me so bad. But all of us on Long Island, this is our day. Like the Irish have St. Patty's Day, German have the Oktoberfest. Yeah, everyone has their day. Everyone has their week or weekend. We have MJF Day, and that beats every other holiday, religion, anything else. This man and this day is going to be better than the bar mitzvah that we saw last week. This is going to be the best bar mitzvah. If I have to, I will get conformed into be in Judaism just to be able to do a new bar mitzvah for him at Long Island. I really would. It's very exciting. I can't wait to see this man live. This will be the second time seeing him live, and now home territory, which is the best part.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my friend Sam went to an MJF day a year ago or 2 years ago, and he said it was wild. There was nobody that wasn't in the stands that was not wearing an MJF something, and everybody like lost their mind. Like you couldn't hear yourself from when he was out there. So yeah, this is like the Rock to me at this moment in time. So it's
That's
very
awesome.
exciting. Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
awesome.
be great. It's gonna be
So
great.
to cap off the stream, what were the highlights of All Access? Because I had no fucking clue.
All right, so pretty much the first episode was, I guess, the introduction to All Access and what it was going to be about. Pretty much the episode was about how Britt Baker and Soraya and a couple of ladies, Jamie Hayter, of course, were talking about Thunder Rosa and the incident that happened with her leaving AEW and giving the belt away, really stepping down as champion and willing to still go out to other countries and other promotions to promote and wrestle for other promotions, and how she really felt about that. This takes place the day before Full Gear. I want to say it's last year's Full Gear because that's what it sounded like, which was the one that I went to. But I think it could have been the year prior. I'm not too sure. It was in Newark, New Jersey, so I'm assuming it's going to be last year because that's when I know Full Gear was at Newark, was last year. Um, and then, of course, later on, after Britt Baker and her kind of introducing herself as not only a dentist but a doctor, I should say, but as an AEW former champion, etc., etc. Then we go into the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, coming off the injury that they had previously, kind of getting ready to go back in the ring, kind of performing a little bit in the ring, trying to figure out what the spots are going to be for their Full Gear debut, or really return, pretty much. And then we go into Adam Cole and how he's been taking all of this since the injury that led him to leave for a little while. Cole, having that very heart to heart moment with O'Reilly about how he felt very lost, and that if he couldn't come back to wrestling, what does he really have to live for? This is something that he's been doing since a child, kind of like how the Jacksons spoke about it too. They've been doing this for a very long time. They were the neighbors everybody knew when there was a ruckus going on in the backyard. It was just the Jacksons. Don't worry about it. They're fine. And Adam Cole was kind of in that similar boat. So, him being very worried that maybe he isn't ready. Maybe he isn't ready to come back in the ring, and having those a lot of self-deprecating, a lot of self-doubt about how he maybe isn't going to be up to par with everybody from that injury. Everyone's been wrestling and continued on without him, when he stepped away for medical reason. And that was pretty much it.
Hmm.
The biggest thing I would take away from this, though, that I would say is more of a negative than a positive. I think the show's great. I think the show's a great idea. But my buddy Sam pointed this out. It wasn't even my idea, but my buddy Sam pointed it out, and he said that, in all honesty, when we have these feuds, which I was just saying before, with Britt and Soraya and the Outcasts or whoever it may be, seeing them all chummy and having fun and backstage kind of defeats and makes that feud not as interesting as it's supposed to be on TV. Like when we see MJF and Bryan Danielson and they had their match at Revolution, I'm happy we didn't see those two back there hugging. Hey, how was your weekend? How's Bernie? How's everything going on? You know what I mean? Like, being that friendly person. I'm happy we didn't see any of that, because it made those promos more real. It made that match more realistic. And the same thing goes for Britt and Soraya and Soraya's comeback and all this other stuff. So I think the biggest thing that Tony has to now realize, that if you're going to start bringing the camera in the back instead of in the front where it should be, a lot of these feuds that you're going to be building up could be tarnished a little, and you don't want really good ones to be tarnished, setting yourself up for a big pay-per-view like a Double or
Yeah,
Nothing or Revolution or something.
I could
Because,
understand that because
yeah,
imagine like, if Punk never did what he did and All
right,
Access debuted,
yeah,
we would probably see fucking Punk and MJF, one of the greatest fucking feuds in AEW.
hugging it out.
They're probably going over there, "Hey, how are we gonna do this promo?"
Yeah,
And it's like, fuck me, man. And
yeah, I
I
don't
know
want
a
to
lot of
know.
people, like, everyone and their grandma knows wrestling's scripted and wrestling's fake. But it's
Yes,
like,
we know. So are movies.
but they're selling it like it's real and that they owe each other a lot of fucking money. And, you know, with shows like WWE Legends and shit, you can get away with that because they're
Right.
not there anymore.
Correct.
And it's like, well, we get to see the behind the scenes of something that happened 20 years ago.
Right.
But
That makes it more
if you're
interesting.
trying to do behind the scenes look of stuff that happened a year ago, sometimes even 3 months ago, it's like, okay, so yeah, I understand your point. So let's say the 4 pillars, or let's say Adam Cole and Chris Jericho. Are we gonna
Right.
see Adam Cole step into the AEW arena and Chris Jericho be like, "Hey, good to have you back, buddy."
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Like,
so
come
glad
on.
you're back. And oh man, what a crazy injury you had. How's everybody? Oh, I saw the gaming thing, man, on Twitch. It was great. I became a subscriber. Like, I don't want to know any of that bullshit.
How's this
I
feud gonna go?
eh,
Like
yeah, like what kind of spots do you want to do? What do you think your neck can handle? Like, no, 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 no. I want you out there at each other's throats. I want the blood, the guts, the gory. I want it all. I don't want to hear that you're all chummy. I we know that. We should all kind of know as fans, as longtime fans of this type of sport and this type of business, everyone's very friendly with one another. Majority of the time, it's
Yeah.
very rare we see a Punk situation or a Thunder Rosa situation or, Cody being unhappy or whatever the case may be, or backstage contract signing issues, or recently, like Moxley was saying on the Ray Paquette podcast, that the last time that he worked for WWE, he only made $500, and that's why he never did the Shield again, when the Shield was making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars by doing shows and clothing and all this other stuff. And the last time he was with Shield, he was only worth $500. That's all Vince wanted to give him because it was his last day of his contract. Like, that's something that, like, yeah, interesting to know. Good to know that now that you're not with the WWE anymore,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really like tarnish the WWE and that little behind the scenes type of thing. But at the same time, it's like to your point, I don't want to see Britt Baker and Soraya hugging it out after they just went at each other 5 minutes ago backstage. Like, oh my God, you did so great. I was so shocked. I was even a little scared. Like, I don't want any of that shit. Don't give me none of that shit. Give me everything. I want it to be like, I fucking hate you and I fucking hate you too. And like, this is how
Yeah.
it's supposed to go. Cause like that's the draw. That's the draw. That's what brings us in every week. If these promos that we know are scripted or handwritten by writers or by themselves and practiced and worked upon, like, I get that. We totally know that already ahead of time. But if we have those moments of, oh, everybody's all chummy, let's go to dinner, let's go to Outback Steakhouse after this, I got a coupon. It's like, no, no, no. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know when I go, when MJF goes back there, he looks at Bryan Danielson wounded and weak at in the back, going, you punk bitch, and spits on him. Like, I still want that aggression. That's what I would rather see than him being like, oh, how's your kids? How's the Bellas? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he really gives a shit in my
How's the
eyes. I mean,
Garcias?
yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
Christ.
How's Birdie? Like, I don't really think he gives that much of a
Yeah,
shit about
after
it,
like
but
2 minutes ago, he's like, "Hey, Birdie, I'm gonna kill your daddy." And it's like, "Hey,
yeah,
Brian, how's it
exactly.
going?" But,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
I can
no, we don't
understand
need
that.
none of
All
that shit.
access, I get what Tony's trying to do. It's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna bring you behind the scenes in the world of AEW," and it's like, "But you're only a 4-year-old company. Why
Right.
the fuck do we need to see you
Wait till
behind
it's
the scenes?"
10. Wait till
Wait
it's
till it's
10.
10, yeah.
Wait till it's 10. A lot of these people are gone. A lot of the homegrown talent are now getting older. They're on their last legs of their contracts or their free agency. Let the big moments happen without anyone knowing what really happened backstage. Don't give us anything just yet. Like you said, with like WWE legends, WWE rivals, excuse me, those type of shows work well because now we know it happened. We saw it happen. We were either alive for when it happened or when we became fans of this business,
Yeah.
we heard about when it happened. So now hearing, Mick Foley talking about, yeah, it was the craziest thing. I had to beg Undertaker to throw me off the top of the cell because he didn't want to.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm
was
just like,
fucking crazy when I found that out, and then Undertaker
he,
was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it," and then
yeah,
Vince was like that, and it's like, "Oh, fuck, fine."
yeah,
But
exactly. Or like even when like he had to throw Rikishi off of the thing into that haystack, like Rikishi's last words to the Undertaker was like, just tell my family I love them if I don't make it. And
oh,
he just
fuck,
was like,
yeah.
oh, okay. And he was just like, so I'll be back now. And I'm like, see, but like now 20 years later, that's why that moment will live on as a huge impact into the wrestling community because now we know the behind the scenes 20 years later, not
Mhm.
2 months after the fucking feud happens. You know,
Yeah, it's
like
fucking stupid.
I don't think Darby and Sammy are hanging out at an Outback after this, trying to figure out what they're gonna write about for their promos for next week. No, if they are, that's great, cool. I'm happy that everyone can get along. This is a business. This is something we have to work as a team, and this,
It's
that,
a
and the third.
family. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
to an
fucking
extent. To an extent, it is an extent. Yeah, it's a family type of thing. Wrestling brings it's a carny sport. This goes back to when it was in the circus, and this goes as far back as that, and now it's morphed and adapted to what it is now. But wrapping up, I know we're trying to cut it very short, but I think all in all that this is again a good idea, but this isn't something I would have started right away. Definitely at the 10-year mark, I would have said, okay, let's bring a reality show and bring moments like the dog collar match back, and hear what really happened, or the elite and Punk situation, and Sammy Guevara begging to do crazy fucking acrobatic moves by doing a crazy stunt off of the helicopter at a stadium. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, give me that 10 years from now. Don't give me it now. I don't want to know how fake this shit really is. Like, don't make these other people that say it's fake all the time win. Give us a little bit of a W here, buddy, by not showing too much what's behind the curtain. Because it does hurt. It does hurt your potential feuds and rivalries and pay-per-views. Honestly, then it starts hurting the money, and then that's when you're in big trouble. So hopefully this is a one and done season, and then we don't get it for a few years. And if we don't get it ever again, that's even better.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Yeah, AEW All Access from the way you explained it, because I didn't want to give it the time of day. It seems decent,
Okay,
but with that one point, it's like, yeah, okay. If it was 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20, I would love it. Now it's like, well, fuck. Now what I just watched is a bunch of bullshit. Then
right,
it's like, even as good as Dynamite was last night, it's like, well, fuck. Yeah, probably Garcia and Cole are over there going over spots. I don't give a fuck.
right, right.
But yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, that concludes our Dynamite review stream. Dynamite fucking killed it. I loved it.
Killed it.
All access, don't give a fuck about. Um
Nope.
So yeah, that's been it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it will be released later on tonight. Most likely won't be, but Dylan and I will both be on the High Side of the Ropes podcast.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Follow them on Instagram
Yes.
and Twitter and all their socials, so that way you guys get notified on when that episode comes out.
Yeah,
And
because they were
yeah,
trying to
because
do it live. They were trying to do a live episode tonight, is what I was told from Nick.
even
I don't know
better,
if I was
even
supposed to say
better.
anything crazy, but yeah.
I don't know if we were
So
supposed to say anything, but hey, this brings eyes to his channel, so it is what it is. So we're
come
gonna
on
promote
down.
his channel. Come on down. If it's live, it's live. If it's pre-recorded, it's pre-recorded. It doesn't matter, but be sure to check us out. Subscribe to their YouTube. Follow them on Instagram. You'll get notified. And yeah, it should be fun. It's Mania week, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. We hit 300 very recently. I want to thank
Yes,
you all for the support.
congratulations, Willie. I
Oh,
wanted to
thank
say
you,
that
man.
live. I wanted to say that
Yeah.
live, man. I know I said it to you in the group chat that we're
Oh
all in
yeah.
with pro wrestling. But man, I'm so proud of you, man. You deserved it. You put in a lot of fucking time, effort, and energy into this, and I can't wait to hear you hit 500 real soon. Maybe by Wrestling Weekend you'll hit it. If not, maybe by Double or Nothing. You never know. The time is very short, but congratulations, buddy. Well deserved. I am one of those 300 subscribers. So don't forget about those little people out there. All right, there, big timer,
I
Mr.
never
Billionaire
forget
over here.
about
I'm
them.
working.
I
Yeah, I'm
never
working
forget
now with a
about those.
billionaire.
My mom was number 1. I don't give a fuck. But
Hey, all right, Mama Willie, let's go.
yeah. So yeah, and you helped a lot for the channel, so thank you for all your work
Thank you.
and all of everyone else's. Of course, the One Shot Killers appeared on here and all of that. And yeah, so it's fucking crazy. But anyways, guys, that's been it for the stream. And yeah, this has been Willie Does Wrestling with Dylan on the last week of Wrestling Podcast. And signing off. Be good people.